After Donald Trump held a meeting with white supremacists and neo-Nazis at Mar-a-Lago, Republicans are being asked whether or not they stand with the only 2024 presidential candidate to announce. The GOP leaders have lashed out at reporters asking them about it, presumably because they don't want to be put into the position that they have to emphatically denounce some of their own base. Speaking to MSNBC's Chris Hayes about Senator John Cornyn, Republican Texas, former colleague Senator Claire McCaskill, Democrat Missouri, flattened the Texas leader's excuse for refusing to denounce white supremacists and Nazis. "I'll tell ya what makes me giggle is that Mike Pence said that Trump should apologize. Has he meant Donald Trump?" McCaskill cracked up. "I mean, clearly, he doesn't know the man. Apology is not in his lexicon. This is not something Donald Trump would ever do. He would never admit it was wrong. He would never apologize. So, I agree with Mike Pence, which as you said, is usually, blah, blah, blah." One of my favorites today was John Cornyn, saying he had better things to do than condemning the leader of his party for having dinner with someone who called the victims of the Holocaust burnt cookies. McCaskill was citing a comment by Nick Fuentes, the Trump guest who both denies the Holocaust and also makes fun of victims of it. According to Kanye West, Trump was impressed with Fuentes. What does Cornyn have that's better to do than condemning a leader who thinks it's appropriate to dine with white nationalists and anti-Semites? I can't imagine anything John Cornyn had to do today that was more important than that. So, they're still afraid of the base, of the Republican Party, and even though Trump-aligned candidates are not ready, he still has more than 50% of the Republican base following his corner, and these other Republicans very afraid of those folks. Hayes said he didn't want to psychoanalyze the Cornyn quote, but Cornyn and his party basically made their own bed. They might get angry they have to deal with these questions and lash out at reporters, but, he said, it's their own fault that they have to deal with this. The reason they get asked this is because Donald Trump is a bad person who does horrible things all the time. But when they get asked about him, they can't come out and say that. So, what they do, they take their anger out on the press, or everyone else. So, you get this sort of crazy displaced resentment, like, why are you making me go through this? And I just feel like saying, guys, you could have been done with him. You could have impeached him, and just disqualify him. You think we all want to go through, you think I want to go through another one of these that you're forcing on us? But it's not our fault. It's your fault. It's your fault that we are asking you. Former Representative Carlos Curbelo, Republican Florida, agreed, saying that the real way to handle it is to have courage and stand up to Trump. They're too afraid to do it, he explained.